Get groceries delivered to your door in as fast as an hour with Instacart. They handpick fresh groceries from your local store and let you shop multiple stores in a single order. Use our link to get free delivery on your first order over $35. Just visit cart.simpsonsiblings.com or check out the link in the description.
Hey everybody, this is Sari.
And this is Sean.
And we're the Simpsons siblings, and
we have a podcast.
And it's a Simpsons one.
Well said, sibling.
Yes, indeed, sibling. So today we're covering Bart versus Australia. I'm pretty excited about this one.
Love this one.
This is the first travel episode that we've covered, right?
I think so.
Yeah, and I feel like this is their first international travel episode, at least for the whole family. I mean,
yeah, because the one in Japan was later on, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then the one where Bart goes to France. I mean, it's just Bart.
Yeah. Yeah,
so Bart versus Australia. This is season 6, episode 16. Originally aired February 19th, 1995. Written by Bill Oakley and Josh Weinstein. Directed by Wes Archer. And this is our requested episode from our patron saint, our patron Timothy Burleson.
Yes.
We love you, Timmy.
Good pick, too, because this is one of those episodes that it's hard to pick an episode because you're overloaded with so much, and you're just searching your brain. But when I heard we were doing this one, I was like, yes.
Yeah. Oh, so you got the couch gag?
Yes. Well, first we have the chalkboard. Bart writing, "I will not hang donuts on my person." He can keep those donuts to himself.
Yes.
And then, also wanted to say, I noticed because this is the long opening, I just happened to look at the magazines when they're in the checkout line. Mm-hmm. A lot of them are hard to read, but one of them just says Feeble Magazine. And it's almost looks like Grandpa on it.
Huh.
I don't know.
I was making fun of People Magazine.
Yeah. I don't know. I just always like to know something new.
Huh.
And then we have the couch gag, where they come into the living room and they're swimming through the carpet like it's water, and they all jump up on the couch. And I kind of like that because it looks solid, and then it's got the waves. And
I always used to, when I was a kid, I always wondered what it'd be like if you could just dive into the floor. I don't know if that's a common thing that people think about when they're kids. Oh.
But now I'll think about it.
All right, and we've got our guest star, Phil Hartman, as Evan Conover. So this is one of those Phil Hartman not being Troy McClure or Lionel Hutz. He's somebody different.
Oh, is that the State Department guy?
Yeah, that was Troy McClure.
Okay, I guess.
I mean, that wasn't Troy McClure. It was Phil Hartman.
I guess he does so many voices that when he does an off character, it just seems familiar. You don't.
Yeah, kind of like Hank Azaria's sort of other characters that aren't common to. Yeah. This one starts right off the bat with the Coriolis Effect. And who says you can't learn from The Simpsons?
You can learn a lot, especially the earlier seasons.
Come on. And I know what that is because of this episode. And so they're racing. I can't remember. Oh, yeah, they're squirting the
toothpaste?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And trying to race them. And I feel like it's starting from here, and this will carry on a little bit more too, so I'll just kind of do an intro to this. Lisa messing with Bart through this entire first act, because she probably suggested this, or else Bart suggested it, and she kind of had a little light bulb and was like, I know how to cheat this. So more of that to come. Lisa being mischievous here. So they keep squirting their toothpaste, and it always goes the same way. And Bart's like, it doesn't always go the same way.
And then I love how she explains it, the Coriolis Effect and everything. And then Bart's just defiant. Water doesn't obey your rules.
Oh, Bart. And of course, he's flushing the toilet over and over, trying to get it to go the right way. And then poor Homer in the shower.
I know. And he He does so many tries, too. He's just like over and over, and he's like grumbling and grunting. And he's like trying to force water to go the other way. And when this scene came on, I thought it was going to be another thing, but it just ended up being a different episode when Bart's doing the water taps and he's making Homer scream to different tunes.
Oh, yeah.
My brain was expecting that to come, but it didn't.
It's sort of parallel to that. Hot, cold. Oh, man. And then Marge is, for Pete's sake, Bart, use the plunger.
Oh. Which suggests that he's done this before when he should have used a plunger.
Yep, which I can totally picture. Okay, so then that's when we get the second part of Lisa messing with Bart, where she explains the Coriolis Effect. And she's showing him the globe, which he's never opened. Mm-hmm. And she's like, anywhere below the equator. And she's like about to say equator. And she just goes, this line.
And you see his eyes light up like, oh, I understand.
And he says, oh, you mean in places like Australia and Rand McNally?
It's perfect. That perfectly square country.
Yep. And then she goes, well, in Rand McNally. And what was the rest of it? Do you have that written down?
I didn't write that down.
It was something like mice are as tall as people. And he's like, wow. And the look on her face, she's just reveling in this.
Yeah, that's her time to shine.
Yep.
Now, it's not part of The Simpsons, but did you ever see the YouTube videos of places on the equator, like, draining water?
No.
Like, I saw one as, like, it was like a tourist attraction thing. They had, like, a bucket so they could do it over and over. Mm-hmm. But the water just, like, falls through the drain. And it looks really, really weird.
Because it's not north or south.
Like,
it's
it
just there.
It looks almost fake.
Oh, I need to look that up. That sounds trippy. Yeah, I never thought of that. So now Bart's going to sit and call all these numbers. And for some reason, all these numbers are in the Springfield phone book.
Oh, yeah. Like, I was trying to figure out why they have... Like, it wasn't just a dialing guide. It was like, it had numbers. Mm-hmm. Like, could you imagine a phone book for the world?
Oh, God. Yeah. It'd just be massive.
I mean, if you had a phone book for just the United States, that'd be massive.
Yeah. And the dialing reminds me of when Homer dials Hokkaido, Japan. It's just so many numbers. Also, there's a real blink and you miss it moment when he calls the North... Was it the North Pole or the South Pole? The South Pole. There's like an ice cube that flings in from off screen with a frozen penguin in it, and then it just kind of hops away.
Oh.
It's so fast. It just like goes, breaks, and then the penguin hops away.
Oh, I need to watch that now.
It's so fast. I had to like rewind it 3 times.
Well, the answer to that South Pole has like disgust in his voice too. Like, oh, someone else is calling, like they're on a hot list for these prank calls or something.
And does the toilet just freeze over randomly? Because he like taps it with like his pen.
Yes.
And the guy's like about to go to the bathroom and he's like, oh crap. Like the logic behind it is just not there. And I love it.
We look for logic too much in this show though.
Yes. I literally wrote right here, I can't write fast enough. So much is happening here.
But you had enough time to write that.
Well, because I paused it.
Well, if you paused it, then you do have time.
I think I was implying that so much is happening so quickly that I am continuously pausing this episode in order to write all of it.
And you're not allowed to edit this out. I'm going to check.
Okay, you can check. That is fine. I stand by my writing down that I don't have time to write things down.
So...
I think I talked about this a couple of times. I call it JPM, which is jokes per minute. Mm-hmm. It's just off the rails in this episode. Like, they just, like, hammered the jokes.
And then we have another couple calls that he makes. Like, they're falling into the lava. I forget where that was from. I didn't write it down. Where was that from?
He's this guy, it's like a payphone in the middle of, like, a volcanic eruption. This guy's passing by on, like...
Oh, yes!
And he, like, picks up the phone and he, like, drags him off.
He gives his life so he can answer the payphone.
Oh, dear God. And something I didn't think of. So there's that leader. I don't think they specify which country it is, but like he's like the tides are turning, the rebels are coming because he mishears it because of the mistranslation, and it's just like they're playing telephone.
Yeah.
With the telephone. Yeah. And then, okay, this is the part I had to look up. There's like a random Hitler.
Like, this episode is just good.
We're like 5 minutes into this so far, and all this has happened. His car phone starts ringing, and he has to run to it. And the translation is thus: 1 minute, 1 minute. Alas, the car phone is a nuisance phone. But the way he says it, it's a nuisance phone.
He just has like shopping bags.
Like, what the hell is happening here?
Like, they're the writers. They're like, they had the South Pole. Mm-hmm. They had the lava. They had like all these jokes, and they're like, okay, we need one more. Mm-hmm. Hitler,
yeah, just randomly alive, talking on a car phone, and it's a nuisance phone, and there we go. So that whole montage is over. That beautiful, beautiful montage. And that's when Lisa tells Bart just how expensive the calls are. And that's where he decides to make a collect call to Australia. And come to think of it, like, are you allowed to make collect calls to different countries?
I don't know. Because
that seems either illegal or you'd have to go through, like, a lot of hoops.
Like, they would give, like, big disclaimers, like, before you accept this call, know it's going to cost this much per minute.
Yeah. Yep, because they're not going to want people to get surprises for that. They're going to get pissed. Oh my God, this kid that he calls is one of the cutest things to ever be put on The Simpsons.
He's so innocent and wanting to help.
And his little accent. I can't handle little kids with accents. It's just like a punch to the heart. It's an emergency.
It's an emergency.
Oh my God. And he tells him to ask his neighbors. And so he jumps on a tricycle and just goes down the road.
He doesn't even question it. He just goes. He's like, I'm saving someone's life.
And there's like no neighbors for miles, but he's gonna truck over there in his little tricycle. Oh man. And Bart just sort of kind of forgets about the call.
And everyone lets the phone just sit out.
I didn't think of that. Yeah, someone should have noticed it. But yeah, that's when Milhouse shows up and is so excited about this bakery fire. And he's like, "Want a sniff?"
He's just so energetic.
He's so excited about everything. Oh man. And Bart finally, picks up the phone and it's like nighttime. And he just says, "I don't care about that anymore," and hangs up the phone.
But as he hangs out, the kids, "Are we in danger?" But then it gets cut off. He's still concerned.
He's so scared. Oh, man. Just, he doesn't even get that much time in this episode, but he's like an MVP.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing. There's a lot of, like, really good characters in this episode that only get, like, a couple minutes.
Yeah, like, you feel like, because the voice actors do a really good job going into it. And you feel like, okay, these are like developed, well thought out characters, and they're just done.
Like him, the spoon guy, the bartender, the prime minister, they're all just fantastic, and they only get these like little bit parts, but they're all quality.
Yeah.
So, but more to come on those. We get Homer getting the bill. And he can't remember. He's like, "Wait a minute, it might have been you."
Yes.
And he's like, "Well, don't worry, just write the check and we'll release some endorphins." The good old Homer brain logic.
His brain's just watching out for himself.
Yeah. And we get the $900 dues.
$900 dues.
$900 dues. Oh, man.
Even then, the kid... Did we even know the kid's name?
No, I don't think we
ever said he's just... That's when he was like, it was an emergency.
It was an emergency.
He's just like saying it like he saved the world.
Oh, yeah. It was very important that he took this call. And so Bart gets a call, and suddenly there's a phone in his room, which is... Sometimes there's a phone in his room, and sometimes there isn't. Which, just the concept of having a landline phone in a child's room is so old.
Yeah.
But he's being such a jerk here, where he, like, pretends to put him on hold, and then he said, "No, you owe me $900.
And I put that quote down, and I was just like, imagine if your daughter in the middle of the night was just yelling, "No, you owe me $900." Like, you'd be coming in to see what was going on.
And Marge and Homer are probably just like, "Oh, this is going to be a big deal again, isn't it?"
Bart's awake again.
Yeah, he's yelling to people on the phone in the middle of the night. So this Australian guy decides to talk to his
representative.
So first he talks to him, and was he like herding pigs or what was it?
Yeah, he was pig farming.
Yeah, and he's we gotta take this to the Prime Minister. And the Prime Minister,
He's like, "Hey, Prime Minister."
he's like naked on an inner tube with a beer. "Hey, Mr. Prime Minister." Oh, God.
This episode implies that like 10 people live in Australia.
Yeah. Which, I should have looked up. I have heard bits and pieces about what actual Australians think of this episode.
Uh-huh.
I think at the time people were a little pissed about it, but I think they're mostly like, whatever.
Yeah. We're on The Simpsons.
I don't know. I think probably some of it too is that Australians don't get picked on as much. But
How often does like a show or a movie or anything take place in Australia?
yeah.
Well, next we have the letters that start coming into the mail.
Oh, yeah.
The bloody urgent.
Yeah, the bloody urgent. Oh, man. And so they try to talk to the parents about it. And that's no reason to block the TV. This is Homer's priorities.
Imagine what would have happened if Lisa didn't intervene and he just kept ignoring the letters. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, like, the State Department just randomly shows up unannounced.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. Something little that I noticed, when this scene starts, Homer and Marge are just kind of sitting watching TV together and holding hands.
Aw.
And it's just like kind of a cute little moment. It's just like a
Yeah.
nice little casual romantic Homer and Marge moment. And it's like maybe 3 seconds. But then we do have the State Department come in, and it is the Brat and Punk division.
When he opens the door, his greeting is just, "Oh my."
So we have this slideshow that he puts together, and I put the most forgettable film Hartman one-off character. I think mostly because he just kind of exists as a plot device. And some of the things he says are funny, but it's not really the way he says them.
He's just kind of annoying, and he's there to progress the story.
Yeah, like this isn't... If you were to rank all the Phil Hartman characters, this would be near the bottom. Just because all of his other characters are so great.
Might even be forgotten on the list.
Yep, it could be. And I love... This is one of my favorite Marge lines of all time. "You'll just have to find another country to have relations with."
She's so innocent.
Oh my gosh. There's just so much to unpack there. It makes it sound like there's only one country that the U.S. has a relation with.
Yeah.
And,
It's time to break up with Australia.
Yeah, it's just over this one situation. So basically the guy wants Bart to have like a 5-year prison sentence. And then he brings up later that he can just apologize. But why didn't he bring up the apology first?
Yeah, I thought that too.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was to make it sound like, oh, apology's not as bad, but it's almost like an afterthought. Mm-hmm. Like, but I guess he could apologize too.
Yeah, it's almost like he wanted him to take the prison sentence first. And that this was like, they didn't want him to apologize instead. But if he absolutely won't take the prison sentence, then have him apologize. But this guy is definitely pretty sketchy. So they decided to go to Australia. And then we get this whole sequence where it kind of goes underground and shows like everything that's under there. Something I noticed, there's a bunch of coffins. And one of them has a skeleton in it, and the skeleton's digging down out of the coffin.
Oh, that's weird.
The way I saw it is maybe somebody got buried alive, didn't know which way was up, and just started digging, and then was digging the wrong way, and then just died.
Oh, that's sad.
Which is dark as hell. Also, wouldn't you be able to tell just because of gravity? Like, you could just sort of pick up your arm and be able to tell which way was down. Either way, it's just weird.
Yeah, it's just, no matter how you explain it, it's going to be weird.
It's weird and creepy, and I don't like it. There are dinosaurs in coffins for some reason.
Saw that.
And then I always wondered about that switch guy in the middle, and all I know is he's supposed to be Vishnu, and I don't know enough about Vishnu to say anything else. But that's who it is.
He's working hard, too.
He's working hard. And so they finally arrive in Australia. And based on the time difference, Lisa now says it's 6:45 next Wednesday.
Quite the jump. And I like, too, that the plane lands and it's, see if I can say it, Transhemispherica Airlines.
Transhemispherica. That's my favorite airline. Also, why does Bart suddenly have a frog?
Because plot reasons.
Because plot reasons. Bart not only has a frog, he decides to bring it with him to Australia. And none of the parents, like, object to this.
Yeah. Because you can't hide a plane on a flight all the way through to next Wednesday.
Yeah.
But
yeah. And so he leaves it because it's a invasive species. And it ends up jumping into a kangaroo, and the kangaroo kind of, like, hugs it a little bit.
The kangaroo's very happy for it.
Yeah, and it just kind of puts it in his pouch and hops away. Oh, and then they've got, when they get to the embassy, there's a sign that says restroom for citizens only. Like, you know, restroom for customers. Or it's not hilarious, but I know
it's just one of those you see. You go,
And the huge, loud device to make the toilet go the correct American way.
Yes, it's not that half the globe turns that way. It's that it's American.
It's the correct American way, and it, like, forces it to just go
and it's after it flushes too, it, like, mid-draining rotates.
And, like, who would even notice that?
And Homer gets all sad and patriotic over it, too.
Yeah. Yep, he, like, wipes a tear. And we got Homer jumping the line between America, Australia. America, Australia, America.
The guard.
Here in America, we don't tolerate that crap, sir.
Sir.
And then we have... these couple scenes might be some of my favorite in the whole episode. Which is the guy with the spoon.
Yes. I've quoted that several times this year.
How do you even explain this scene to someone who hasn't seen it? So
Sounds ridiculous.
There's a guy, and he has a spoon. So Bart's sitting playing with some sort of Australian knife, and he goes, "You call that a knife? This is a knife," which is a reference to the Crocodile Dundee, right?
I think so.
But it's a spoon. And they go, "No, sir, that's a spoon." I see you've played knifey spoony before.
Someone had to pitch this joke. The writers probably modified it until it was at this point. And they're like, okay, now this joke is perfect.
Now this is peak humor.
I see you've played knifey spoony before.
It's so stupid, but when you see it, it is the funniest thing in the world. And this guy's so into it, too. Like, he flourishes the spoon when he takes it out. This is a knife. Oh, dude.
You did that really well.
God. It's because I've quoted it too much. Oh, man. And then we've got my other favorite scene, which is the COB.
Yes.
Which is Marge tries to order a coffee. And when she says that she'd like a coffee, he says,
C-O.
Bay. And well, so she orders a coffee, and he says, "Beer it is." And she's like, "No, a coffee." And I feel like we're explaining this so wrong, but you would have to see it. There were so many have to see it moments in this episode.
I would hope that most people that are here know this quite well.
Yes, already. Yes, the great COBE.
Which I do have to let everyone know that Sari came over today to my place to record this podcast. Mm-hmm. And, you know, it's the weekend, kind of dragging. She's like, "I got you a coffee."
Here's a can of beer.
A can of beer. Like,
It's a coffee. And I just have to mention there's a dankmas for COBE, and it's pretty catchy. It's not.
Wait, there is?
Yeah. It's funny because I skipped over it a lot because I was like, "What's Kobe?" Because it was just spelled COBE, and I was like, "I don't remember Kobe," and then I was like, "Oh, it's COB," and it's a good one. It's one of his middle ones, but it's still pretty good. Yeah. I gotta mention the dank when applicable.
I don't know about you, but I think when we mention dankmas now, we should put a link to that video that we mentioned in our description.
We should, because we need to spread the good news about dank.
Yes.
The
dankest of Simpsons.
The dankest. We are huge Dankmas fans, to the point where my daughter listens to him, and we were at a Denny's, and she had the kids menu, and it had this little thing where it was like, write down your favorite color, your favorite, etc. And it said, "What's your favorite music band?" And she went Dankmas. She wrote it with her little crayon.
It's genetic. Simpsons is genetic.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. So the story goes on. Bart apologizes to, the prime minister and everything. And they claim that there's also a booting involved. And this is really the big conflict of the episode, even though it comes like a little later.
Yeah, it's the turning point. And it was like the State Department guy knew this was coming, but
just
didn't say anything.
He's sketchy as heck. Like, he's leaving stuff out over and over.
I just don't like him.
Yeah. I mean, he's like one of the most dislikable Phil Hartman characters. And he gives a line, "Disparaging the boot is a bootable offense."
Such like a cyclic thing.
Oh, dear God. So Homer ends up stealing the boot, and it's like a massive boot.
The guy comes walking in, and it's like, step, stomp. Step, stomp.
And Homer ends up stealing the boot, and I love the way the people around him react when he steals the boot. It's like he's got a gun on them.
Yeah, like, he's holding it like with his arm extended.
And everyone's like scared of the boot. Like, this is a big deal, this boot. Oh God. Oh, then this might be my favorite Homer line from the episode, where he says, "You need to let your children run wild and free, because just as it says, let your children run wild and free." Oh, he does not know what he's talking about. And I love that they accurately showed kangaroo pouches.
Yes.
They run out. As
disgusting as they are.
Yeah, they run out of the building, and they're like, "We'll hide in these kangaroo pouches." And it's gross.
Didn't Bart say something too? "Oh, it's not like how it is on cartoons."
Which is weird to hear on a cartoon. But yeah, in real life, kangaroo pouches are gross. You should look them up.
Or not.
I mean, it's essentially like that's their womb, really, because the kangaroo like is born in there, really, really tiny.
Yeah.
Like, it's weird as heck. Yeah. I've always wanted a didgeridoo.
And what do you didgeridoo don't?
But yeah, they're cool. And Lisa wants one. And that was sort of just a random scene. Well, it's like they're running, and then Lisa and Marge are at, like, the gift shop.
Yeah. Was this the point when they're throwing the boomerang?
Oh,
Did you have that line down?
Yeah, I didn't write that part down.
Where he throws it and it comes flying over. That throwing stick stunt has boomeranged on us.
Oh my God.
Like, just the jokes per minute again.
Jokes per minute.
They maintain throughout.
Yep, it has accelerated and maintained its speed. And so Marge says to Lisa in the gift shop, she's worried that the didgeridoo is going to be too expensive. She goes, how about you get this cap? It's clever, just like you. And it's just some, like, throwaway line that's on, like, every souvenir item ever.
Yeah.
And Marge is just so cute. I love Marge.
She's trying.
She's really trying, and we love her for it. And once again, the Simpsons are being chased by an angry mob. We should get a total count of how many times they've been chased by an angry mob. Because it's a lot.
Yeah, and like when it's them as a whole family too.
Yeah, that's true. Because you have like the Telltale Head, that's just Bart and Homer. But then you like the whole family being chased by a mob. It happens more often than you think.
How is Homer not in shape?
That's true. Yeah. So they run back to the embassy and the phone call. They're on the phone call. They're trying to figure out a way to get out of this mess. And Marge takes the phone from him. And she gives this really elegant speech. And then the guy takes the phone back and he says, yeah? Okay. Yeah, she won't be allowed near the phone again.
That was perfect. Because you feel like Marge is setting up for a victory.
Yeah. Poor Marge.
And this is also just before, too, where we have them running over and they try closing the gate on them.
Yeah.
And the button says Made in USA.
Yeah, and it, like, kind of clunks. Oh, God. Yeah, like, they don't... It's like neither country wants The Simpsons.
Yeah, like, they'll just be stuck living on the line.
Yep. Yeah. So, Bart decides to kind of do a compromise. He decides to do a single booting with a regular shoe. And Lisa says something very sweet. She says, I promise I won't make fun of you for this. And she says it in a very sweet voice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Bart moons them instead.
Yes. Because you can't just have a normal ending.
No, you can't. Oh, and it gets weirder, too. This is, like, the most normal part of the ending. And they get chased again to a helicopter. And Lisa sweetly says that she's surprised he could write so legibly on his own butt.
I mean, that is talent.
I mean, it is. Yeah, because you'd have to do it, like, backwards and on your butt.
Yeah, I mean, anytime I've had to do it, it's just a disaster.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. And,
you just move on from that.
Let's just move on from that. We don't have time to unpack all of that.
As you pause to write it down.
I'm like, and we have the guys eating the flag.
Yes, like, they just fully abandoned their station. They're like, even though we're wearing this uniform, we don't want to be identified with this group.
Yeah. And the frog ending.
The way they're laughing, too. Like, especially Lisa. She understands the impact. And she's like, that's what you get when you introduce an invasive species into new habitat. And then she starts laughing. You see, like, their food is gone.
Oh, my God. Yeah. It reminded me a lot of Bart the Mother when he has the lizards. Remember, he gets an egg and he thinks it's... Yeah, and then the lizards end up, like, eating all of the birds or whatever.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, we live with lizards now.
Yeah. And, but then at the very end, they get their comeuppance because there's a koala hanging on to the helicopter, and it does that whole dun, dun, dun ending.
I just have written down koala eye.
Yep. It just zooms in on his eye, and it's all intense. And I actually have a story. So the first time I watched this with my daughter... Disney Plus was doing this thing where if you'd already watched an episode, it would show the ending of it, and you'd have to rewind it to get back to the beginning. And so when I put this episode on, it just started from the koala ending. And so my daughter's watching this, and all she sees is dun, dun, dun on the koala eye. And she's like, how are they going to get to that part? How is it going to, like, what the heck's going to happen to get there? And it is a strange journey.
But a good one.
This is definitely on the wackier side of Simpsons episodes. That it's a ride. It's a weird, wild ride.
That family has some stories to tell.
They should make a show about it. And they did. I think we need more caffeine. I think we need B-E-C-O-B-A. Yeah, so thanks again to Timothy Burleson for suggesting this episode. If you want to be able to suggest episodes, check out our Patreon, patreon.com/SimpsonsSibs. Link will be in the description. And, join us next time where we will go over Season 7, Episode 11, Marge Be Not Proud. This will be our Christmas special.
Yay, Christmas.
Yeah. So go ahead and watch the episode first before you listen to get the full experience. And until next time, bye everybody.